Hey everybody, it's ETC 17. It is Tuesday, is our first day, and with me now is Amy Magnus. And Amy, you're a research assistant professor in artificial intelligence.
Yes, at the Air Force's grad school.
Ooh, sounds really exciting.
It's a great time to be in artificial intelligence right now. And I have to say is that the artificial intelligence that I work on is analogy-based. It's not the deep learning, statistical stuff. It's about how we do transfer learning. How can the computer do transfer learning?
Well,
it's kind of golden, that's the golden holy grail of teaching. So can the computer get there too?
Wow. Well, let's talk about your session real quick, and then we can bounce back into that. So you have a session on Thursday called Parallel Learning, Opportunities in STEAM Education, and there's kind of a subtitle there too. What was it?
Count like a computer.
Count like a computer.
Yeah,
so tell us about your session.
I do curriculums that both count like a computer and read like a computer. I want to, our young students to get comfortable working with computers, working in parallel. Because really that's what artificial intelligence is about, working with the computer. Autonomy is the computer working by itself, automation. And for us working by ourselves, we do that pretty well right now. We need to get us working together. So what I'm going to be doing in Michigan is that I really believe in active learning, and I don't like lecturing people, so I'm going to have people come in and get to play with a design project that an undergraduate class at Antioch College can help me develop. And it's basically a Montessori-like material and working with base 2 and base 6 and helping, really young kids, like even as young as age 4, learn how to apply their knowledge of base 10 to base 2 and base 6, addition, counting, that sort of thing.
Wow, so a lot of really good tie-ins to just your traditional math, but also bringing in the artificial intelligence.
Right.
So, so that's kind of your role as a presenter. Tell us about what you're here to learn. You don't pull anything away from OETC?
Well, I'm really enjoying the exhibition right now, and I'm looking at interfaces, the interfaces that people have, that people are concentrating, and also the assessments that people are doing too, because the interfaces that we build are going to help us draw out the assessment. That's really where I think technology can free us up from doing the data collections for the grading and help us concentrate on the students doing really productive, mature.
So when you say students, you're talking really about kind of college level students? Or
oh no, I work, actually at the graduate school, I teach electromagnetic dynamics. And we tend to get the magnetics last, right? And it's, people are thinking, oh, this is so hard, this is so hard, this is so hard. And these are students who are in their 20s and 30s. And I'm going to go back in time, start teaching you math in such a way that you'll think mathematics is the fun part. Magnetic materials, engines, new battery technology, they're all about spin. And right now, the way that we teach math is it's like, that's the hard stuff, we're going to put that off. But little kids, they really love TOPS. They love TOPS. And there's ways that we can use their living objects, to really get them this math that will help us reach the stars, really, seriously. So it's funny because I watched the movie recently called Hidden Figures. And one problem that we have a lot in both of our lives, so people are always asking in math class, how can I use this in real life? And they don't realize how they're using algebra every single day, how they're using the exponential growth and exponential search. You don't realize how much math just a lot. And so what I like to do is I like to say is that you really are comfortable at this, and you're really good at this. So, that's what I want to give students. And even the hard stuff, we can make that easy. We can make that comfortable for you, and yet give you the tools that when you start getting more and more interested in these really disruptive science that's out there, is that you're going to be on top of the game because you're going to be comfortable with it. Does that make sense?
It does. And actually, as you were talking, it reminded me of to talk to one of the clubs, Vardy. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all, but he is also doing, he does STEM teaching and that sort of thing. And he was talking about that exact same thing. And there was, when you mentioned a movie, I thought he might be throwing his movie out there, which is about Spirit Hearts.
Okay.
So maybe check that out as well. So
I will
the
definitely.
movie you mentioned was
Hidden Figures. It's actually up for an Oscar right now.
Oh,
Now,
awesome.
it's
Okay, I
not.
think I know which one you're
It
talking
probably won't win because it's up against La La Land, and you know. So, but we love math, and talking about NASA and Langley Field, that's just amazing. That was just an amazing place for people to come together. And that movie and the book, even I recommend the book highly. Is all about how we really needed to tap into capacity. We needed all hands on deck. And this is, again, a time where we need all hands on deck. Really tough problems out there that we really need people comfortable with working with mathematics. And, it's kind of like broccoli. There was a wonderful story in the New York Times about how it's really difficult for disadvantaged families economically to introduce vegetables into their children's diet. And math is the same way. It's really hard for them. Why? Because there's broccoli. Broccoli has got bad rap. And if you look at behavior modification, you need to introduce something 5 to 7 times before somebody will even trust it. And if they've already gotten some negative feedback on it, you need to do it 14 more times. So this is what we need to do with broccoli, is that we need to, I need to put it on my own plate 14 times before I can expect my child to start stealing it away from me. And they're really good at that. Stolen food tastes better. So the thing is in math is that we've got to find a way of taking these hidden figures and putting them explicitly, as you say, right there, that's a representation of the multiplication table. I've got a representation of the table that uses base 6, and it's amazing. As soon as you see base 6, you'll say, oh, of course, we're using the ruler, which is base 12, to do measurements, because there's so much more accessible from base. There's different things that are accessible from base 6 and base 12 than there is from base 12.
Awesome. Well, I'm really looking forward to hearing about your session. Any resources you're going to share that people are going to latch onto?
I'm going to be offering up some materials that are both a simple card flipping game, dice game, and people are going to be able to take away materials for base 2, all of the materials for base 2, and then you'll just need to bring in. I'm not going to give away the dice. I might actually kind of like have a raffle for a couple of dice for people who come in. So I'll have a raffle for a couple of tensies, but so there'll be materials there so that we can play. Okay. I mean, because that's what early education should be about, is about kids playing. So we want to work big. Math, we all think about this intricate, tiny stuff. That's a great way. Getting kids to work small on a small scale with just their hands, that's a way to invite stress into their lives. What we need to do with math is we need to work big. And that's where STEAM education, that's where that comes in, is that art and design are about working big. And that's actually physically calming, well as it taps into more of your brain. And that's, all hands on deck, I was saying, building capacity, all hands on deck in your brain. You want to use as much of your brain as possible with math, because it's not just about cold, hard facts.
Agreed. Well, I can't wait to hear about your session. It's time for a couple of quick speaky questions, if you're up for it.
And I'm such a geek.
The most dangerous part of this interview. Like the first one is, what is your favorite way to unplug from technology?
Unplug from technology. I have to say dance.
Dance.
Right. I've been involved in ballet and modern dance. I bugged my parents when I was 3 years old to send me to dance class, but they really couldn't afford it. I come from kind of a disadvantaged family. Afford it. And when I went to college, I was like, well, all right, I have charge in my schedule. I went to school for electrical engineering at Rochester Institute of Technology, and boy, did I need a club. So what I do is I go to dance class, and I took modern ballet and intense work, but being really fit.
Awesome. All right, let's go with one more here. The toughest one. Name your favorite educational blog.
You know, actually, I've got a really good answer for this. I really liked Draft. This is a series of essays on basically the New York Times opinion page. And it goes a lot into the craft of writing and the craft of, the craft of writing. And to me, is that putting logical thoughts together, is that that's what we want to do in STEAM, is that we want to talk about and how this is something that we can sustain. Because when you're talking about sustained, creative, disciplined work, then you're talking about STEAM. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
It's really empowering. STEAM, empowering.
All right, thank you so much, Amy, and good luck in your presentation, and have fun at OHCC.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate being here.